They haven't seen one another for 7 weeks, but this is a special game for both of them, and we will talk to her later on in the broadcast. Our second game of the boys 2A state finals coming up right after the break between Uplift and Mater Dei. We'll see you in just a few moments.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local Country Financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
To a cake portrait chef, accuracy is everything. That's why I used Realtor.com to find this house. I'd rather take a cake to the face than to use those other search apps. Off the market, it's on the market! Realtor.com is the most accurate home search tool. Its homes are sweet.
Team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour Highlights of the Week on the NFHS Network.
Public address announcer Paul Herzog gets things started for us prior to this one.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association of the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness and this, the 108th year of state series competition. This 2A semifinal game this evening features the Titans of Chicago Uplift, a record of 26-5, and the Breese Mater Dei Knights, a record of 24-10. Let's meet the non-starting members of each team. For the Titans, a 5'10 senior, 1, Alonzo Catus. A 5'10 junior, 4, Romel Askew. A 6'4 junior, 5, Denzel Davies. 6'3 senior, 10, Nate Ratliff. A 5'9 junior, 11, Roderick Trice. 6' junior, 15, Jamal Hansen. 5'8 senior, 22, Sean Terrell. A 6'4 freshman, 24, Torres Dobbs. 6'2 sophomore, 25, Demarius Jacobs. And a 6'1 senior, 30, Mecca Owens. And now the non-starters for the Knights of Breese Mater Dei. A 6'1 freshman, 4, Devin Rensing. 6'2 junior, 10, Nick Pullman. 6'2 junior, 12, Peyton Becker. 6'1 junior, 14, Spencer Brockling. 6'5 junior, 20, Blake Langenhorst. 6'2 junior, 21, Garrick Buckman. 6'4 senior, 25, Zach Dieters. 6'6 junior, 30, Joseph Hyman. 6'6 junior, 33, Jordan Campworth. And 6'2 freshman, 40, Lucas Tysing. And now let's meet the starting lineups. For Uplift, at a forward, a 6'5" senior, 12, Jemiah Wyatt. For Breese Mater Dei, a 6'4" senior, 32, Ben Lampy. The other forward for the Titans, a 6'3" senior, 3, Deshaun Flukas. At center for the Knights, 6'9" senior, 50, Nolan Gerling. At center for Uplift, a 6'6" senior, 14, Spencer Foley. At a guard for Mater Dei, a 5'11" senior, 3, Sam Tunyas. At a guard for the Titans, a 6'4" senior, Daniel Sotin. At a guard for the Knights, a 5'10" junior, 5, Brendan Timmerman. The other guard for Uplift, a 6'2" senior, 13, Jeremy Roscoe. The other guard for Mater Dei, a 6'7" senior, 22, Zachary Hockey. Head coach for Uplift in his 8th season, a record of 135 and 74, David Taylor, assisted by Antoine Allen.
Uplift in Mater Dei battling for the rights to face St. Teresa in that 2A state championship game tomorrow night. St. Teresa 50-39 winners over Rock Ridge. Well, we said this is a very geographically balanced 2A field. Let's take a look at these two teams, a little bit of their backgrounds. Mater Dei hailing from the southern part of the state, just outside of St. Louis there in Clinton County. And Independent, they brought a lot of people here tonight. Their enrollment may be only 452, but everybody in that southern Illinois area seems to have come to Peoria tonight. And for Uplift, how about the Titans under head coach David Taylor, making their first appearance in just their 8th year of varsity basketball time. They, of course, come from the north side of Chicago and Cook County. Enrollment of 571. And here's how these two teams made their way to Central Illinois, meeting in the middle, if you will. First of all, for Mater Dei, a huge win over Nashville. That was really a tough regional. Got by Nashville 60-40, and then overwhelmed Carterville in the super sectionals. They have pretty much cruised through the 5-point win over Greenville in the sectional semis. For Uplift, their big game came in a super sectional. A lot of folks expected to see Hales Franciscan here, but the Titans from Uplift battle foul problems. They knock off Hales Franciscan 67-61 after some easy victories prior to that. So it comes down to Uplift and Mater Dei, number 5 in the final AP rankings, and Uplift number 10 for the Knights from Mater Dei.
You got to contrasting styles here. Mater Dei, a very big team, 6'9", 6'7", 6'6", 6'4". Uplift not as big, but they play big, quick, athletic, play passing lanes, create havoc. We got a team that wants to pound it versus a team that wants to sprint the floor.
Last time Mater Dei was here, they finished second. That was in 1996. Uplift, the first time they have ever advanced to this level. It will be the Knights with it first. On the cut. And Lampy can't get it to go. Another chance, though. A little bit too hard going inside. Our officials working this game, Al Corwin, Ben Boom, and Leonard Sanford. Congratulations, gentlemen, for earning your spot here in the state finals.
Nolan Gurring, 6'9", gets the offensive rebound, keeps that alive. He's triple teamed the post, so he goes inside out. Good presence of mind by the post player for Mater Dei.
Nice little pump fake in the basket to Sam Tunyas.
Tunyas right there came off a little curl of his own, felt some defensive pressure. Up and under move for the little guy, going only 5'11", scored in the paint there.
Quick catch and a shot from Spencer Foley. Second team All-Stater.
85th three of the year, and he shot it like he knew what he was doing. 85 is a huge number from downtown. Inside again.
Foul to be called on Mater Dei. Here's our keys to the game. First of all, for the Knights from Mater Dei and Ron Shattuck.
Well, their first is retreat. They have to get back, transition defense. Secondly, they have to protect the paint. They have to own the lane and stop the uplift dribble penetration. Protect the paint.
Too strong off the glass from Deshaun Flukas. Knights want to push a little bit. Zachary Hockey, though, will lose the handle. Daniel Sutan on the move, tied up. And a foul to be called on Brendan Timmerman.
And here's the uplift keys to the game. Turn them over. They love to play passing lanes, run and jump. They have to create havoc with their defense and then run for fun. When they do those things defensively, the defense will lead to runouts, fast break points, in a tempo that they want to play at.
Foley again. Catch, shoot, and score. A smooth stroke from the 6'6" senior. Transferred from Northside College Prep into Uplift. Joined 4 other starters from last year on this team.
Averaged 29 points a game last year at Northside. Giving up a lot of scoring this year to be a part of this team. Averaging about 13.
That will be a foul on Daniel Sutan, 6'4" senior.
Foley had 46 points in a single game last year, so that shows the kind of explosiveness that he can have when shooting the basketball, drawing some Division I interest, because you know what? You got to recruit shooters, no doubt.
Timmerman back up top, it comes to Hockey.
Titans really packing it in right now. Look at the lane. Look at the white shirts in the lane. Great picture right there, protecting any kind of dribble penetration, trying to keep the ball out of the perimeter.
Good hands right there from Jemiah Wyatt. He denied the easy score to the intended receiver there, Nolan Gerling, number 50.
Well, it's a ball screen. They slip the screen. What I mean by that, the screener just dives to the basket as all the attention goes to the cutter. So good offensive set by Mater Dei.
Now they get it to Gerling. Powers inside and will roll it in. Second team All-State selection, Nolan Gerling.
You know what's so impressive right there, Dave? Most post players, especially high school, that go to their left shoulder with their right hand. He was able to show leather to the left, spin back to his right, will and muscle his way to the 10.
It will be Knights basketball. And 12 there, Jemiah Wyatt for Uplift. Good size, 6'5", 202. Coleman with it. He just came into the ball game at that last horn.
How active the hands and length is of Uplift right now. Guys close out on shooters' high hands.
Gerling wanted it badly inside. Rebounding battle won by Sutan. Here comes Uplift. Comes up a little bit short. Jeremy Roscoe. Got it in deep. Still fighting, and Tunyas can't get it to go. Foley.
Uplift very disciplined defensively, stays down really well. Stays down in the stance. If you stay lower than your opponent, you have a good chance to be successful. So a key on offense, stay lower than your opponent so you can go by him. A key on defense, stay lower than your opponent so that he can't go by you. It's just a fundamental of the game that it's easy to be lazy.
Once again, a nice entry into Gerling.
He shot that one right over Flukas. Flukas stayed down, but just too much size and strength to the 10.
Roscoe the other way, too strong. That will be a push on Deshaun Flukas. Couple of threes for Spencer Foley. Nolan Gerling counters with 4, another 2 from Tunyas. We're tied at 6.
All right, team, Listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle. But excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
For your auto, home, life, business, and retirement needs, call the Country Financial representative near you at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit us at countryfinancial.com.
You know, the cliche comment right here is both teams shooting poorly because they're uptight. I don't think so. I think both teams Uplift 2 for 7, Mater Dei 3 for 7. You know why? There's been some flat-out relentless pressure, tenacity in both teams' defense. Everybody under duress.
Deshaun Flukas with another foul. Flukas very quickly picks up 2.
Boy, they find Gerling underneath, and he has such a wide backside. He's tough to get around the front, so they're playing behind him, and he's trying to make some plays at the low post, where he is very good at that is Gerling.
1974, Mater Dei made their first appearance in the state finals, and they finished 4th, and young man at the line, his dad, Randy Gerling, played on that 1974 team, so father-son.
I was at that game. They beat Oswego High School. They finished 4th, and a guy named Lance Reilman was the star of Mater Dei High School in that team.
Quickly the other way, that didn't take long. Just into the game, Demarius Jacobs. Sophomore, only playing in his 7th game of the season. They brought him up late. And as head coach David Taylor says, Jacobs, he's our future.
He had 13 points in the super sectional game. Probably wasn't on a scouting report.
And a 2-on-1. And that's one of the reasons why Demarius Jacobs is the future for Uplift.
Oh my, was that a special open court move. Man, he just left some people in their tracks, 2 defenders.
4 straight points from Jacobs and a 4-point lead, 10-6 for Uplift. No mystery as to the game plan for the Knights from Mater Dei.
Yeah, but you know, we talked about the Titans playing behind and they're making Gerling shoot over them. They're going to have to adjust that because it's going to the paint 4 or 5 times. It's going to Gerling. They're going to continue to feed the big dog as long as they allow the bone to go in there.
And look out, fellas. And we have a foul. The Mater Dei fans not happy. Let's go over to Kelly Kroll.
Well, guys, Coach Ron Shattuck of Mater Dei certainly said that they would try to establish early and often Nolan Gerling, and they have done that. I'm listening to Coach David Taylor right now of Uplift say that he's going to try to double down on him. So look for that to happen when he grabs the ball. Look for 2 Uplift guys to basically be all over him because that's going to be their picking the poison, right? That's what they're going to do early on, I think.
Yeah, excellent job by Kelly figuring that out, what's going to happen, and double down. I think they're going to try that, but I think the other thing they're going to have to do is actually front the post and then get backside help because Gerling's just too strong. You know, once he gets established in the box area, right in the paint, look at him back his man in.
Gerling with the touch. 3 ball on the way, and a bang. Ring it up for Zachary Hockey.
Hockey's got 47 threes on the year. I wonder how many are banked. That one was.
We haven't seen a missed 3-pointer yet today. Jeremy Roscoe nails his second.
And that's his 48th of the season, a 33% shooter from the arc. So he knows he can flat out keep his team in the game.
Rejection. That was Jemiah Wyatt with the block. There's your shooting tonight, 5 for 5 from outside the arc.
See, that one was too close.
Hockey can't handle that rebound. Off the bench for Mater Dei. Brendan Timmerman back in.
Tell you what, I really like the pace and style of this game. This is entertaining basketball right now by both teams, playing in an attack mode.
16-11 lead for Uplift. They finished third in the Chicago Public League playoffs. Spencer Foley knocked down a couple of early threes. Now he'll have to play some defense. David Taylor in his 8th season, 135 wins, the head coach for Uplift, the only coach Uplift has ever had in basketball.
David Taylor, however, has coached on this floor before with Von Steuben High School, where he was an assistant with Vince Carter. Obviously, Coach Carter would be a huge mentor of his.
Going for three, we still haven't missed. Foley 3 for 3.
Boy, does he flat out have a nice stroke shooting the basketballs. Foley pumps his chest, saying, I flat out feel it. Good look, good extension, and good release.
Trying to beat the buzzer. Have to get it up in a hurry. Got it. Big offensive putback by Zach Deiters for Mater Dei, but it's been the Spencer Foley show in the first quarter. 9 of the 19 points. Foley 3 of 3 from beyond the arc.
Most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle. For excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
Our first semifinal had 33 points scored in the first half. We had 32 in the first quarter. That's because everybody was knocking down threes.
People flat out in rhythm shooting the basketball. You know, when you get good looks, when you get good ball movement, look at the ball movement. Step in, shot right there, and you see, you know, that Foley's able to knock it down. You see Roscoe knocking down shots, the extra pass, just everything in rhythm right there for Uplift. Step in shots. Rhythm shots are easy shots. Look at the inside out. Eyes on the prize. He finishes it. And when you get rhythm like that, you end up shooting 5 out of 5 for a quarter.
Both teams shooting at exactly 50% after the first period.
Now, Roscoe and Foley have shot 9 of the 14 shots. They average 43% of their team shots, so that is by design.
Our first miss. Three-point range from Foley.
Now they average 20 shots a game. Their entire team averages 46.
Zimmerman the other way. Sutan. He'll be fouled from behind by Sam Tunyas.
Sutan knew he was going to be fouled. He felt the presence of the defender moving in on him. That would be Tunis, and he tried to get an extra step to the basket so he get the ball to the glass. Couldn't happen, but had the presence of mind to release the basketball and allow himself to get to the free throw line, where he is a 58% shooter on the season.
Sutan has been a catalyst for this team. His defense has been a difference maker for David Taylor. 7-point lead for Uplift. Fell to Simeon in the semifinals of Public League playoffs before knocking off Whitney Young for the third place game. Lampy with the travel.
Great job by the Titans. Good weak side rotation by Jemiah Wyatt, 6'5", 202, who rotated over and got right in the space, which caused the turnover, the travel.
David Taylor trying to get his team to run a zone offense here.
Well, I think there's obviously confusion because here's what they're doing. They're packing in 4 people, putting one guy on the basketball. But what will tell you if it's a man or zone is if you see a cutter go through, if he's fouled, it's a man-to-man. So this is a sagging man-to-man defense, but recognition by Uplift isn't quite there yet.
Foley will let it fly. 4 threes tonight for Spencer Foley, and he has not touched the iron on any of those makes.
Well, that was long range, too. Extension, lift, follow through all key components.
Looking to answer, and they do. Bring it up for Nick Coleman. Coleman on the run. Feeling it. Strong rebound, Lampy. Ben Lampy loves the contact. Football tight end. He likes the contact in the basketball arena. You talk about families. His dad, Jimmy, was a teammate of the Mater Dei head coach, Ron Shadig. That was on the 1984 Mater Dei team that was unbeaten. They lost in the Super Sectionals down at SIU. So the goal of Ben was to outdo his dad.
I think they had some competition in the driveway along the way. No doubt about it.
I bet there was some banging going on.
Gentle Ben, he's not. He's a mean hombre on the inside.
Nice move inside from Hockey.
Hockey unique because he can score with his back to the basket. He's 6'6", 6'7". He can handle the rock, control the offense. A very diversified player is Hockey from Mater Dei.
And a 10-point Uplift lead has been cut in half. Here come the Knights the other way, looking to chop into that Uplift advantage some more. Diders, Lampy, Coleman. Bodies, no whistle. And Gerling will be called for the foul, Nolan Gerling.
So Uplift gets a chance to score from the free throw line here in a transition situation, which is good news for them because they have had some difficulty solving the defense of Mater Dei here in the second quarter. The change of defense has been huge.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who's in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare.
Cause onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back. All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
See Nolan Gerling coming out of the break here, post up the inside, high-low basketball. There he backs his man and watch a fake one way, and he goes the other way. That's just a great move for a high school player, be able to spin both shoulders. Again, the inside feed has his man playing behind him. He shoots over the top. A complete player who basically outplayed an all-stater, Royce Newman, from Nashville in the regional final. That's quite a feat in its own self. We saw Newman down here before, and that young man can flat out play. He's a D1 prospect, only a junior.
He is the man who just knocked down a couple of free throws, Spencer Foley. He's got offered some Air Force, Army, and several Ivy League schools.
So some academician abilities right there.
Foley with 14 points tonight. Inside to Gerling. Nolan Gerling matches Foley's two.
What a great feed that was, high-low. And the reason high-low basketball is so good, there's no help side defense. The ball's in the middle of the court, there's nobody to help.
Jeremy Roscoe on the miss from three. Once again, they get it to Gerling, it's taken away. Deshaun Flukas. Foley will settle it down to Roscoe. Instead, come back up top.
So here's that defense. You hear coach yelling sag. What they're doing again is putting one pressure on the ball. Everybody else in the lane is Mater Dei.
Go right at Gerling. And Ron Shaddick called a timeout. I'll bet if he had that choice back, he would have pulled back on that timeout call. He had a little break going on.
30 seconds.
6 turnovers, make that 7 turnovers for Mater Dei here in the first half. Uplift have converted them into 15 points. You talk about efficiency, turning turnovers into points.
Well, we talked about that on the open as turn them over, playing the passing lanes, creating havoc, and then turning those into points. You know, you talked about 15, they have 25 on the board. You know, they have really been able to get runouts and throw the ball back inside out and hit those three-point shots. A great diversity in their offense between getting the ball hard to the 10, finishing in transition, and knocking down jump shots where they're now 6 out of 9 from three-point land.
Well, I know the temperatures are starting to warm up a bit, but Hawaii, this is not.
We wish we were there.
Mater Dei fans enjoying themselves here tonight. They'd like to make up a 5-point difference right here. Hockey working on Foley.
And as you see David Taylor coaching the screen, he's like reacting on every pass like he's playing defense. He's going to work up a sweat like, look at coach on the sideline. Now exhorting his team with his clap of the hands.
Lucas almost picked up his 3rd foul. Dangerous pass results in a turnover. Foley open. Great battle there. Jemiah Wyatt scrapping for it. And it will be Mater Dei ball. Mater Dei from Breese, same town as Central. Great rivals, Breese Central, Breese Mater Dei. In fact, it was the first game of the Carlisle Regional in the semifinals that Mater Dei knocked off Central 52-40. Nolan Gerling in that game, 18 points and 10 rebounds.
Well, he has 6 double-digit rebound games, a high of 17. So he is just a glass eater, can dominate a game like he is right there.
Only 2 turnovers for Uplift. They lead by 5, make it 8. Jeremy Roscoe drilling his 3rd 3 of the night.
You know how diversified he is to dribble the ball up the floor and shoot it off the bounce right there. But to be that effective, most people are catch and shoot, 3-point artists. But he's right there as he just kind of lulls his man to sleep. Watch him, slow, but give me some space. The lefty, the southpaw, just nails it.
Uplift is 7 of 11 shooting the 3. They are only 2 of 11 on 2-point field goal attempts.
Boy, that does not really jive with what coaches preach. But a lot of their shots, not that one, but a lot of their shots have come from inside-out basketball. Penetration, drive, draw, dish, kick it out, and set up a teammate.
We're under 2 minutes here in the first half. Tunyas, nice cut to the basket. Lucas will be fouled by Tunyas.
Mater Dei does a good job with their offense, with a great balance between moving the basketball side, top side, to move the defense, as well as cutting to the basket. Inside cuts, face cuts, one of the toughest cuts for a defense to defend.
Right there, Deshaun Lucas for the 3. Another 2-point miss. No hesitation from Deiters. An 8-point difference with $1.17 to play in a half.
Deiters and hockey really the only, consistent 3-point shooters for Mater Dei. A good look there for Deiters, but their presence on the inside is what they live on.
And a tough shot right there for Jeremy Roscoe. And he is told that very thing by his coach, David Taylor.
And he knew it before Coach Taylor got his words in, but there's not a coach in the world who wouldn't remind a player in a kind way.
Pretty important final 45 seconds here for Mater Dei. They get it to Gerling, triple teamed.
Let's throw it back in.
And Gerling may have a red spot on his hand. He claims that he was fouled. Lampy. Gerling just picks it out of midair, and that's rejected, but a foul on Jemiah Wyatt.
Boy, what a frenzy of action that was around the glass. Gerling may have been fouled, but you know what? I'll tell you what, young players, you know what? He didn't pout. He didn't quit playing. He just stayed with the play. Look at this relentless effort. Now watch the one hand. He just snatches that ball out of the air and spins to the baseline side where he finally draws the foul. But you know what? It's like the next play. If something doesn't go your way, how do you respond to that? Gerling did not respond negatively, but responded by playing even harder and reaps the benefits of getting the free throw line.
Gerling averaging 15.7 points and 7.3 rebounds per game.
Wants to play college basketball, being recruited by some colleges, and rightfully so. There is not a doubt in my mind he cannot play at the next level. What that level is remains to be seen.
Jeremy Roscoe at the point. He was moved to the point. He was off guard last year. He'll bring it up. All the way to the hole for Demarius Jacobs. Demarius Jacobs, 6 points in the first half, and he will send these teams to the locker room with Uplift a 9-point advantage at 30-21. 14 points from Spencer Foley, 9 from Jeremy Roscoe.
Well, the time's running down, a little shot fake, and he had the matchup against Gerling, and that was an unfair matchup because as strong of a player as Gerling is, it was no way that he was going to keep up with Jacobs driving that ball right to the goal. He was able to get his man up in the air and no weak side rotation at all that time by Mater Dei. That was a defensive breakdown that just at certain times, especially late in the half, cannot happen.
So it's a 9-point lead for Uplift, and David Taylor, head coach for the Titans, standing by with Kelly Crow.
Well, Coach, you said your motto, up in the shirt. You asked 10 turnovers of your team, and they have already got 8 so far. How would you assess the defensive side of the ball this first half?
Our defensive pressure is good. We're trying our hardest to take Gerling out, the big fella. He's having his way with us down there a little bit, but we are getting some pressure on the ball handlers and creating some turnovers. So if we can keep that up in the second half, I'd be very happy with our effort.
You led me right to it. Nolan Gerling, you knew he was going to establish himself inside. What is the game plan to try and slow him down in the second half?
The basic game plan to try and slow him down is to front him and let our backside defenders play the lob. He's such a big, wide body, though, that it's hard for our Jemiah to get around him, Jemiah Wyatt, but he's doing a great job. He's working, he's battling. So I'm happy with the effort, but we do got to do a better job of getting around him and fronting him so it's not so easy.
All right, Coach, best of luck, and now you can run to the locker room. You were too quick for me earlier. All right, guys, Uplift up 30-21 over Mater Dei here in our second 2A semifinal game. We're going to take a quick time out, and we'll be right back with you after the break.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately, you'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Andre Rama, get your feet straight.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
We are all by our lonesome high up there. The March Madness experience as we celebrate 20 years of America's original March Madness. We are at halftime with Uplift in front of Breese Mater Dei. And of course, IHSA State Championship action brought to you by the National Association of Realtors. It is time for our trivia question here at the half, and so let's get right into it. What Washington Hi, how are you there? Why don't we do our trivia question? Shall we do that? Let's do it. What Washington High School graduate who went on to play at Indiana as the all-time three-point shooting leader in the state of Illinois with 464 career-made threes between 2004 and 2008? And while you think about that answer, remember that the Realtor.com mobile app is the most accurate app for finding homes for sale and for rent. The answer to that question, you know Peoria area basketball, you know that it's all about Matt Roth, who led Washington all the way down the street, basically, to Carver Arena a couple years back before heading off to Indiana. So congratulations if you got that question. We are at the half with Uplift in front here in our Class 2A semifinal. Again, welcome back in here to the Peoria Civic Center. They shut down the March Madness experience for the night. It'll be hopping once again tomorrow. We've got more basketball coming up. Uplift with a 9-point lead. Stats and highlights coming up after the break. IHSA basketball continues on Comcast Sportsnet Plus.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
To a cake portrait chef, accuracy is everything. That's why I used Realtor.com to find this house. I'd rather take a cake to the face than to use those other search apps. Off the market, it's on the market! Realtor.com is the most accurate home search tool. Its homes are sweet.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
Halftime between Uplift and Mater Dei, and the Titans trying to become the second CPS team to reach the state championship game on weekend number 1 of our March Madness experience. The other team to do it, North Lawndale, back in 2008, the only other one to do that from the Chicago Public League. Welcome back in. Yep, they've shut down for the night. That's okay, because we've been doing some research and paying attention to what's happening in Class 3A and 4A too. All the matchups are set for the Super Sectionals. Make sure you head to ihsa.org to see those. If you want to see those highlights of what happened in the sectional finals tonight, make sure you tune into High School Lights coming up at 11 o'clock over on Comcast Sportsnet. On to the highlights now of our 2A semifinal. It's Spencer Foley from 3. A couple of them kick it out to the big man in the corner as he knocked in a couple of threes. Foley with 14 points on the night. Jeremy Roscoe getting his turn. And then for Mater Dei, Zach Hawk from outside as he knocks down a 3. And then it's Nick Pullman with his turn from long range. And then how about some good old-fashioned post basketball on the block, as you saw Nolan Gerling there with the bucket inside. 2 for 3 for Mater Dei from long range, but 7 of 12. Titans bombing it from long range. They only have 3 baskets inside the arc, and so a lot of their concentration from long range not helping Mater Dei. In this case, the Knights plagued by turnovers with 8 of them in the first half, and that sets up the situation we're in right now. The Titans of Uplift with a 9-point lead here at halftime. Can the Northside School make it to the state championship game? Uptown paying attention, the neighborhood hoping for a state championship contender. 9-point lead at the break. We'll be back.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle. But excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage, and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, cause onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
Back at Carver Arena, getting set for the second half. Uplift with a 9-point lead on Mater Day here in our final game of the day. It's been a busy day so far with our Class 1A semifinals this afternoon and our Class 2A semifinals tonight. Of course, a big night of basketball all around the state with our 3A and 4A sectionals as well. It'll be Meridian and Brimfield for our state championship tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'll have that one for you on our Comcast Sportsnet channels. And also our 2A state championship is tomorrow night. And we shall see who goes in that state championship slot last as we await the coaching staff. In the meantime, for Mater Day, making the state finals will be for the third time they've been in the semifinal game. 1-1 in previous history, 1974 and 1996, the very first year they were here in Peoria. Let's send it down to Kelly Kroll.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Here with Mater Day head coach Ron Shattuck. First of all, your team, the advantage on the boards, but when it came to taking care of the basketball, I'm sure 8 turnovers was not what you had in mind. How can they be better on that side?
We just got to value the basketball a little bit better the second half here and just be a little bit more efficient on the offensive end and then contest their three-point shooters. They they were 6 for 7 or so in the first half, and that caused us some problems, but we're just going to continue to stay after it and fight and see what happens at the end. So we'll be okay. Just need to settle in a little bit.
When it comes to Ben Lampe, he's had some tremendous games leading up to this. Is scoreless tonight. How can he get more involved in the offense?
That's what we just talked about at halftime. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive and put his head down and get to the rim like he has been the last 5 games. And once he settles into and gets going a little bit, hopefully we'll be okay.
All right, Coach. Good luck. All right, Mater Day trailing by 9 here against Uplift in the second 2A boys semifinals game of the evening. We're going to take a quick timeout, and we will be back with the second half action right after this.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage, and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, cause onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
Thanks for joining us here in Peoria. Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo, Kelly Kroll inside Carver Arena, and Matt Rodewall in the March Madness Experience. We already have one team that has reserved a spot in that championship game tomorrow night. St. Teresa 50-39 winners over Rock Ridge earlier on. They probably are watching this first half, maybe back in our hotels watching half number 2 as whether they will face Uplift or Mater Dei, and it will be the Uplift Titans to get things started. Long range 3. Jemiah Wyatt battling on the boards. Wyatt, a 6'5" senior. There he is, Jemiah. According to that man right there, David Taylor, he just does all the dirty work for us. Right there, Wyatt. But it's Gerling the rebound.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 chances right there. That's a good sign, quite honestly, for Uplift, how active they were on the glass, showing some quick energy here in the second half. Here's Coach Taylor yelling, stay down. I'd like to have a nickel for every time a coach tells his defender, stay down, stay in the stance.
Wyatt got that block. And a little bit too casual in the backcourt, and Tunyas takes advantage of it.
Tunyas, right man at the right place at the right time, was able to finish.
Speaking of finishing, that's what Sean Flukas does after Roscoe gets him the ball. And that will go off Lampy's hands.
Lampy, we talked about being 0 for 4, scoreless, averaging 22 a game his last 3 games of the tournament, 2 sectional, 1 super sectional. Just has not been able to find any rhythm, and that time not even looking for the basketball.
16, 8-point. It's in the paint advantage for Mater Dei tonight. But it's the 3-point shooting, 7 of 12 in the first half from 3. Foley can't get that one to go. He's cooled off since starting this game 3 for 3.
But he has great footwork and a quick release. He can get rid of that ball, but it's like 0.3 of a second. It hits it and it's gone.
Hockey bumped by Foley. Hockey looking, waiting. Lampy overshot. Gerling missed him by about 6 inches. Tough night here for Ben Lampy.
Yeah, that was a really well-designed inbounds play from the side. They had Lampy coming off a screen, a curl cut, and then they had Gerling underneath for the high-low, but just not able to execute the pass.
Next weekend, 3A and 4A boys basketball as America's Original March Madness continues. Right here from Carver Arena. Sam Tunyas, he just grabbed that ball and he hung on and went for the ride.
Yeah, on that particular set, Uplift decided to just spread the floor, trying to use their quickness to the 10 and try to beat Mater Dei off the dribble. They did just that. Their ability to bounce the ball into the lane creates an awful lot of opportunities. They're hard to guard off the bounce. More speed and quickness than Mater Dei has.
You've seen that automatic. Throw the ball 3/4 of the court into the backcourt. Roscoe rattles it home. Double digits for Roscoe now. He has 11. Spencer Foley leads Uplift with 14, and it's a 34-23 lead for the Titans. Lampy, first points of the night. He's coming off consecutive games of 24, 21, and 22 points leading up to this one. Nudges that lead into single digits. Sutan fouled on his way to the basket.
And it was Timmerman that he beat off the bounce on that particular play, so Sutan is able to take the ball from about 22, 24 feet away and beat his man off the bounce.
Lucas. Board there by Hockey. Well, they'll go offensive foul on Timmerman, and that will not make the big crowd here very happy.
Good job, I think, honestly, by Ron Shadegg, Mater Dei's coach, not reacting negatively, because the team feeds off its coach, and he just clapped his hands. I know he didn't agree with that call, but he's like, okay, let's go ahead and play on.
Sutan will just stand and let those Blue Jersey Knights come to him.
David Taylor tells his team, get to the rim. So they're spreading, now they're going 1-4 low. See the defense, they got them all down 1-4 low charge.
Daniel Sutan with that offensive foul. He'll have a seat on the bench. We'll take a break.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
You know, the Greek philosopher Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. But in our book, we say you are what you repeatedly do when things get hard. When you look at the naysayers and the haters, and there's a million of them, but you take it upon yourself to erase all doubt. Get that doubt out of here. So my apologies to Aristotle, but excellence doesn't become a habit by running the same path over and over. The excellent ones just step up to the line and ask, what's the record? Under Armour, get your feet straight.
For your auto, home, life, business, and retirement needs, call the Country Financial representative near you at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit us at countryfinancial.com. Breese Mater Dei. Mater Dei High School, yes, you are on the video board. Thanks for getting into this one. You talk about a united front. That's them in the upper bowl.
It's not spring break yet, is it? It is this week. It's 70 degrees down in Peoria. So you might as well put on Hawaiian gear, sunglasses, and have a little beach party.
Zach Dieter's going to launch a three, a little bit flat. Back-to-back missed threes from Dieters and from Hockey. So the lead will remain 9. Nice cut inside. Lucas will get the basket.
He came off a cut, but he came off a back screen. Well executed little back screen on the baseline. A back screen is a blind screen. The defense can't see it. And that's why you got an easy lay-in off of that set.
Off the hands of Gerling. And you see a little bit of frustration on the face of Nolan Gerling. Ron Shadegg wants a timeout. I think he saw the same thing. Just a little bit of discouragement in his team. So he'll take a timeout here in the third with 3:24 to play and his team down by 11.
Well, Gerling had 9 at the break, and he has 9 now. So that just shows a little bit of adjustments that Uplift have made against the big fella.
Kelly Kroll told us the story in our open. She's now going to finish that story. Kelly?
Yes, it is my pleasure to have Shelly Shadegg. Now, this is Coach Ron Shadegg's wife next to me, joining me. I told the story earlier. So he was supposed to be headed to Austin, Texas from Orlando, but son kind of got in there and said, Dad, I want to go back to Mater Dei because I love that environment. What do you think of that decision?
I think it's great. I mean, I think it's a great community, and we've both been supportive for everything we do, and it was a dream job for Ron. So to get back to his alma mater, get to this level, it's what he's wanted. Jacob's always wanted to go to Mater Dei, and it works. We make it work. It's hard, but we make it work.
So you still are in Austin, Texas. Is the first time you've seen your husband in 7 weeks? Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct. I've got a busy job, and I try to get here as much as possible, but I was technically not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be in Orlando, but I couldn't miss it.
And here we are putting you on TV and everything, but do your best coaching for me and tell me what it is the Knights need to do here to get back on top.
They need to play some defense and stop the shooter.
There you go, guys. Straight from the wife's mouth, okay? Thank you so much, Shelly.
There indeed. 4 threes now for Jeremy Roscoe as he buried one just moments ago, matching the 4 threes from Spencer Foley, and Ben Lampe gets 2 points back. Lucas rejected by Gerling. Dieters. A little miscommunication on that offensive rebound attempt. Blake Langenhorst just in the game. Couldn't get his follow to go.
Dieters hits that one. He would have brought the crowd back into that with momentum. Would have been 5 straight points, and the 3-ball would have ignited things. Instead, Uplift has a chance to extend right here. Curl cut ball screen.
Under 2 minutes to play in the third. A miss from Lampe. Lucas. Soft off the glass. Sean Lucas, 6'3", 170-pound senior.
Now watch him defend on the ball right there. You get a bucket, then you get all juiced up defensively as well. He's step for step.
Finally get the ball back inside to Gerling. First points of the second half for Nolan Gerling.
You know what? You got to talk about that Gerling. What a nice catch, and I mean that. It's a bounce pass to a 6'9", post player running down the middle of the floor. He was able to use his eyes, his feet, and soft hands to catch that ball, gather, and score off the glass.
Now David Taylor wants to take a 30-second timeout and figure out how he wants to play the last minute here in the third quarter.
See David Taylor going to talk to his team. He's really got 2 decisions with 30 seconds to go. I think I know which one he'll make. He's going to spread the floor. He's going to tell his team, if you have an avenue to the basket, go ahead and attack it anytime. If not, he'll have a set play run with about 12 seconds to go, and there would not be a doubt it would include some kind of screen between Roscoe and Foley to get the last shot.
You're talking to Cameron Smith. He's doing the analysis on the 1A games this weekend. Talking to him this morning about Uplift, and Cameron said, they shoot well. It's a good night. How about 8 of 17 from outside the arc?
Yeah, and you know what? Roscoe 4 for 7. Foley 4 for 7. They've got 20 shots between them overall. That's what they're averaging on the year. The 2 catalysts of their offense. And we'll see if we're right here. A slash to the basket early or a screen for either Roscoe or Foley late.
Foley's just going to launch it. He has a smooth, effortless touch, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. But you know what? I don't think they called the timeout for that. Honestly, with 50 seconds to go, okay, let's get a pass, and that was not a set play.
A little helter-skelter here, and Lampe won't go.
Great body language. Lampe, after getting fouled, you saw him right coming into your living room, telling his teammates, let's go, and he had the eyes of a tiger right there. You know what? His team's trailing, but I tell you what, Lampe is a competitor.
Probably end up going to Notre Dame. He's a 4.0 student, just named Academic All-State Honorable Mention.
And that's what a competitor does, gets it done in the classroom and on the floor. A prototype, consummate student athlete.
If you're wearing a white jersey, you're pointing one direction. If you're wearing a Powder blue juicer, you're pointing at another.
Uplift won 24 last year. Didn't get here quite clearly. It's our furthest advancement. 26 this year. 50 games, 2 years. That's a pretty good run, isn't it, back-to-back?
26-5 this year. One of their losses coming to Simeon in the semifinals of the Public League playoffs. Simeon advancing to the Class 4A Super Sectionals on Tuesday.
Wyatt there, you see him on your screen. He gets called on the foul. He's playing behind. He got his hands on Curling, the big guy. And actually a pretty good foul because he was going to get backed in and posted up. So he takes the common foul.
Denzel Davis will replace Wyatt. Looked inside for Gerling, thought he might be a little bit late with it. And Lampy will get the putback.
Great presence of mind, know where the shot's coming, just sleeping on the weak side. Just kisses that weak rebound in.
Oh, and they are not missing. Absolutely not missing. Jeremy Roscoe knocks down his 5th three of the night. And with that, becomes a 13-point lead after 3 quarters of play. Jeremy Roscoe, 6'2" senior, ringing him up.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, cause onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
Cheerleaders from modern day improvising the wave here. That must be a tough adjustment. You talk about teams making an adjustment when they come to the bigger floor in Carver Arena. For cheerleaders, they have to sit through the game.
Yeah.
They'll get up during timeouts, but sitting during the game, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, there's no doubt because they're feeling the same energy as their athletes are on the floor, but they can't show it the same way. Look at that drive.
That's putting his head down and going, and Lampy, talk about a frustrating night for that young man, just not happening. Lucas will get an opportunity at the line.
Yeah, you go to the first play of the quarter. They want to get Lampley established, and he does. Put his head down, drives. He has an open lane to the basket. Really no backside help by Uplift, but he misses. And then about 5 seconds later, coming down the floor, Uplift has a chance to add to their lead.
Lucas right at his per game average of 7 points per game.
And he's actually looked to attack much more than we would have anticipated. It's really not his role, but anything you can contribute, he usually gets his points off of transition, taking the ball to the rack like he did right there.
A 15-point lead for the Titans from Uplift. That was about an hour ago when we started this ball game, and number 50 right there, Nolan Gerling, was getting all the entry passes. They were getting the ball, getting it to him cleanly. And that's kind of fallen apart here in the second half.
Well, they had Danzel Davies playing behind him, and then Jacobs playing in front of him, which stopped his vision. So there's that double team and an adjustment David Taylor talked about. But how about some kudos right there to Davies, 6'4", who's drawn the assignment and done a really good job. I believe Gerling only had 2 shots in quarter number 3.
Davies ends up at the free throw line, 6'4", 225 pounds, and he's a junior.
He's chiseled, he's strong, athletic, and he's the one pounding on Gerling on the inside of the defensive end.
Tunyas on the drive, and he's fouled. 47-31 has slipped away a little bit here. It was a 19-13 lead at the end of the first quarter, stretched it to 30-21 at the half for Uplift. 13-point difference after 3, and it's a 16-point margin right now. Lamping fouled from behind by Demarius Jacobs. Sophomore, 6 points in the first half, as we said, only playing his 8th game of the season with the varsity on the JV team majority of the year.
He had the one move in the first half where he broke a couple ankles going to the basket, kind of wowed the crowd and said, here's a little taste to what you might be seeing the next couple of years.
Sits on the rim and falls out for Gerling. Foul will go against Spencer Foley.
I know I mentioned the first half, but it bears repeating. What a great job defensively David Taylor has done with his team insofar as discipline, staying down on shooters. Now there was a foul there, yes, but for the most part, they have not fouled shooters. They've made Mater Dei shoot over them, and it's been very, very difficult. Gerling got off to a good start. Besides that, not a real good shooting percentage overall, just 37% for Mater Dei.
Couple of free throws for Tunyas. He has 6 points tonight.
First time showing 2-2-1 pressure.
Other way, Coleman, head down. Nick Coleman fouled by Demarius Jacobs.
And quite clearly, Mater Dei going to shoot a lot of free throws here with 6:52 to go if they continue to attack the rack. That should be their game plan right now. Get to the basket, try to get some conventional, old-fashioned three-point plays, and then when the defense collapses, go ahead and throw it out.
Another chance here for the Knights, or not. Sutan hangs, can't get it to roll.
How about the quick hands by Roscoe, though, on the thievery? Boy, he just got into that lane. Boom. He had the ball in his hands, got his eyes up. Great vision, great anticipation of his teammate Sutan cutting to the basket. That is something that does not take place in practice, but that is just knowing each other probably all summer, all fall, all spring long.
Zach Diders back into the game.
Roll your band up. Roll your band up. Thank you. Thank you. One shot.
Mater Dei closed the season with a pair of losses to Centralia and to Oakville before going on this 5-game run through the playoffs. They're in trouble right now. Diders finally bags one. He's tried that right side a few times tonight, gets that one to go.
Kept his eyes on the prize right there. Good extension. and his first time to really see who's going to score that before he even shot it.
Demarius Jacobs quickly the other way. Here come the Knights right back. Diders again. That'll be a foul on Tunyas. Six-team foul now on Mater Dei. Checked in this game with a 24-10 record. Started out the season with 3 straight losses to big schools, Edwardsville, Althoff, and Carbondale. In fact, they lost to Althoff a couple of times within about a week. Started the season with a 1-4 record.
They lost to Christian Brothers down at St. Louis, a bigger school, and Coach said even after that game they felt that, you know, with this kind of competition, we know we can compete. We have a vision for the rest of the year. Nothing happens unless you first have a vision as a team.
Jeremy Roscoe leading his team in scoring tonight. He's at the line. Holman pushing. Fine Gerling, the catch, the fadeaway, and the score. There was no doubt when a 6'9" senior caught that ball what he was going to do with it.
Mater Dei going to have to come out, pressure more. You'll see one of two things happen, either a turnover or a layup almost every play.
Foley loading it up and burying it. That is his 5th 3 of the night. Roscoe has 3. I'll make that 5. 5 apiece for Roscoe and Foley.
Both guys good as advertised. Lampy right there with a nice move on the inside. He showed a letter to the lane and then spun back baseline side and got it off the glass and in.
Mater Dei having a tough time to get this game into single digits. They'll have an opportunity right here. Lampy will go to the line to shoot a couple. They're not done yet. Spencer Foley for Uplift got this game started in a big way for the Titans. Foley made 3 threes early, added another in the second quarter. Bags one here in the fourth.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local Country Financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
All right, team, listen up. Effective immediately. You'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.
For your auto, home, life, business, or retirement needs, call the Country Financial representative near you at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit us at countryfinancial.com.
Well, the Titans live at 21 points off turnovers, 10 out of 18 from the 2 main men, Roscoe and Foley from three-point land, have extended their lead. And they're kind of in a situation now, the last 2 trips, they shot threes. They have an 11-point lead with 4.5 to go, or almost 5 to go. Do you need to continue to shoot jump shots, stay in your game, or do you need to start to spread the ball out more? It's a coach's dilemma right there. Do you play on, or do you start to take the arrow of the basketball just a bit?
Ben Lampy at the free throw line gets his first, and as he gets his second. Let's go to Kelly Crow.
Well, guys, a very fired up Coach Dave Taylor in the huddle right now saying, do you guys understand they are losing? You have to get this through your head. They are not going to give up. You have to match their energy if you want to close out this game and be on top. So he is asking for everything from his guys right now if they want to keep being in front on this one.
And here they go with, spread a little bit, changing defense modern day now. They know they couldn't guard man-to-man, so they've gone to a 1-2-2 half-court trap. And I don't know exactly why the Titans are playing into that, shooting the ball more quickly than they need to.
But just a glance at the scoreboard, it's a 9-point difference. And free throws. Every time that the Knights go to the line, they will be shooting 2.
So check it with 4:20 to go, a 9-point. There's a lot of basketball to be played.
Lampy 2 of 4 from the line tonight. 69% coming into this game. Coming into this tournament, he had taken 170 free throws. By far and away leading his team in that number.
Just shows how much and how relentless he is getting the ball deep into the teeth of an opponent's defense, willing his way to the basket.
Jemiah Wyatt comes back into the game. Wyatt playing with 4 fouls. He along with Daniel Sutan. Lampy will get another one. Lane violation. And based on his body language, Jeremy Roscoe may have been the culprit.
I'll tell you what, you got to cash in right now if you're Lambert. Just, yes, on the scoreboard to cut it to 8, but also mentally. He just missed 2. He's got a free one left. You always make the second free throw. You make the second free throw, you allow your defense to get set. They'll probably go right back to the 1-2-2 half-court trap.
Still can't get it. The tip will not go. That is a big missed opportunity in a couple different ways for the Knights. Sutan challenges Gerling. Your free throw numbers. It's not been a good night at the line for either of these teams. 12 of 25 combined.
Tim, I'm actually pretty surprised that Ron Shadegg went ahead and changed back to a man-to-man. They created a turnover, a fast shot, the previous time on a 1-2-2 zone. It was surprised that right here they allow Sutan to go ahead and win the battle off the bounce once again.
Dieters, number 25, he'll come back in. Dieters tonight has a 3-pointer. Sutan gets a couple of free throws.
And that's an offensive substitution. That's his job right now, to find a soft spot in the defense and hit a spot up 3.
Tough pass, hard pass inside.
Uplift doing a good job right now. They're switching all perimeter screens on top. Many coaches go to that, which would negate any kind of 3-point shot off a screen. It's easier to just switch it rather than fight it and protect the arc that way.
Dieters is open. The other way, Sutan. So a missed tip on a missed free throw, a couple of missed free throws. A breakout and another.
Dunk 1, dunk 2.
And a 15-point Uplift lead. 6 straight points from Daniel Sutan. The Titans are going to close this one out with 3:26 left. Daniel Sutan, 6'4", 168-pound senior, coming right at you. This is the second one.
It's kind of nice when you don't have to shoot them up. You just throw them down. A little higher percentage,
I wouldn't know about getting my numbers up that way.
My goodness. The percentages increase when your ball's going thrown downward trajectory. And you can tell right from the good side of the huddle, they feel it right now. David Taylor's done a great job, I think, tonight, keeping his team on an even keel.
Well, Kelly mentioned earlier that was at about 5 minutes to play that David Taylor said, hey, they're not going to go away. You know, they're going to keep coming. They cut it to 9. Mater Dei cut it to 9, and then all of a sudden, missed free throws, missed tip, and a couple of dunks.
David Taylor, you mentioned, coached in the public league, but he also went to a public league school, Sen, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Northsider by trade, huh? The North Side his whole time.
Well, speaking of North Side, this is only the second North Side public league school to reach the state final since World War II. Small school, North Side of Chicago. Hockey with the follow, and that will get 2, a free throw, and the clock will stop at 3:16 to play.
Nice execution by Hockey, playing to the buzzer basically till he knew he was going to get the bump right there, but takes the ball strong to the basket right here. Nice cut. Good hard low dribble into his shot, catapults him into an ability to finish the basket.
Follows on Spencer Foley. Hockey tries to finish the three-point.
They needed a big game from Hockey. Just has 7 on the night.
Another one of the family members. His dad, Brian, played right here at Mater Dei.
Hockey's going to take his athletic ability to the diamond this spring and then next year, right?
It's going to be a pitcher at Arkansas State after he gets done pitching for the Knights this spring. Another breakaway. Jacobs. Well, you gamble, you may get burned, and indeed Mater Dei has.
Mater Dei's last 3 buckets are on dunks.
Finally, Sutan will get bumped and head to that free throw line. There's Jeremy Roscoe. That was yesterday. This is today. He's our Country Financial Player of the Game. 17 points for Roscoe, 5 threes. Let's get another one right there. Bang. On that black line, that's the high school line. He's well behind the college line.
You know what's impressive about that video montage right there is there was like 3 5s on step-in shots. 3 threes. There was 2 threes on crossover dribbles, left to right into his shot, and there was 1 on a straight-in dribble.
Russ, he
can flat out shoot every which way.
Sorry, I thought my mic was hot. Oh my God.
Here comes Mater Dei the other way. Dieters will try it. Ooh, look out. Hockey, great athletic move there to actually keep from being injured.
Fouls on Roscoe. Hockey will shoot 2.
You're up in the air and that lower body gets taken out from underneath you.
That good clean play. Both teams have played their tails off, so it's been a good basketball game. I know it's a 14-point score. We had some really, really good action in the first half. But you know what? I think over the course of time, another storyline that won't be in the stats is I think that Uplift has worn them down.
Yes.
They've tired them out. That and the adjustment on the inside against Girling, the 2 storylines as far as I'm concerned, as far as game keys, and of course, that 3-point shooting, 10 out of 21.
10 out of 21 from threes, 11 of 28 inside that stripe. And I think there's a little bit of, I want to say, respect. Jordan Campworth, the foul, the basket will go to Jemiah Wyatt. That's Wyatt's first basket of the night.
Well, and we talked about it with 5.5 to go when Mater Dei actually had to come out and extend. We said one of 2 things would happen. As you see one of them, they'd either create turnovers or they'd give up layups. And it's been 3 dunks and a couple layups because of the ability to take care of the basketball and finish plays at the basket for Uplift after they beat the first line of defense and pressure.
Folks are starting to leave Carver Arena. I saw some orange sweatshirts exit. That's the color of Decatur's St. Teresa High School, a 50-39 winner tonight over Rockridge. Those fans sticking around to see who they may be playing and how the Bulldogs may fare against. It certainly looks like Uplift right now with 2.5 minutes to play.
Christian Williams, the All-Stater, Spencer Foley. What a nice matchup it will be between those two. But again, oftentimes the All-Staters, they have to have a supporting cast.
One shot, the ball went in. One shot.
Raises the rim. Here, David Taylor yelling, no fouls, no fouls. Every loose ball won right now by Uplift. Slick pass, dish back, Lucas.
What a great unselfish pass forward by Sutan, who could have scored himself, but no, I love my buddy. I'm going to give it up to you. You go ahead and finish. Dishing the dimes is what makes you an unselfish player when you're able to, give up your own bucket to give a dime to your teammate.
Again, we've taken it all the way down to 209. Here's your National Association of Realtors move of the game. Nice little assist from Sutan to Lucas. They are move the game. Ben Lampy back to the line, and he has had a tough night there. 2 of 8 from the line.
And I would bet there's been very, very few times in Lampy's career where he's had body language that shows I'm not a confident player. And he shows that a little bit tonight. Now, the young man has basically carried this team as far as, being their go-to guy. But as he walks off the floor, a very frustrated young man tonight. But what a great run it's been to get his team to the Final Four.
Ron Shadig and a couple reserves in the game. Garrett Buckman in, a 6'2 junior. That ball may have hit Buckman in the face. Quickly ahead, Tunyas! Sutan just peeled it off the backboard, also pick up a foul.
Sutan, he just pinned that ball. Great timing. Come into your picture. Did he grab that and snare with one hand after? Oh my goodness. So timing, jumping ability, and strength all exhibited right there.
The foul will go on Jemiah Wyatt, however, and he will have fouled out of this game. Coming into the game now for Uplift. Sean Flukas will have to wait. Denzel Davies will take Wyatt's spot. There's Sutan. An energy player for the Uplift Titans. Lucas replaced Demarius Jacobs.
Matter Dave, we're going to lament 10 out of 21 at the free throw line right now.
That's a tough way to try to get back into a ball game.
Well, right, exactly, because you might say, oh, they're losing by 16. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does, because many of those were missed earlier on. With a 6 and 8 point game, you might have been able to cut it to 5, 7, and stay in. So opportunities lost.
The 12 is Peyton Becker, 6'2 junior, again. Opportunity to get on the floor here in the final 2 minutes of your Class 2A semifinal. Uplift take a 30-second timeout. See whether David Taylor wants to get a few people into this ball game.
Right, and it's the reason you would is not just the the nice guy image that get other guys in, but you have a championship to play. In 23 hours, you'll tip off. How much do you want? Can you rest your players' legs going up and down the floor, even if it's a few more times mentally and physically? Because you can actually tell your team, we got you out. We got you. You're well rested. There's one thing with athletes, no matter what level, you can play with their minds, and that's a big part of coaching.
Big thank you goes to the Wheaton St. Francis band. They have been entertaining us here at Carver Arena all day long. It's a long day for those folks. Director Bob Maminka. And St. Francis, thank you very much. This will be Roscoe to the free throw line.
Talk about balance. Roscoe was 17 with a chance to add the free throw line. Foley was 17. Jacobs with 10. Lucas with 10. 4 guys in double figures right there. You know, including Jacobs off the bench, and that give you a nice little lift. And that's a complete team. That right there you see Coach Taylor is looking at a team that's going to be playing for a title tomorrow night.
Just the 8th year of a varsity basketball program.
Well, Spencer Foley's, you know, he actually said, now that we've gotten here, we might as well win it. We have as good a chance as anybody. Well, that's an understatement. All 4 came in. But I think what he meant is, you know, they got by Hales. And Hales was the, you know, most people's primitive favorite.
That was a super sectional victory over Hales, 67-61. Foley had 21 points in that game. Who wants this one? Flukas. Sean Flukas with 12.
He's just living off runouts on that 12 that you mentioned.
A flank off the rim for Devin Rensing. Titans going right at it to Foley.
Filling the lane, having some fun.
And for Uplift. Fresh faces into the lineup, high fives in and out. The fans know that they're going to be playing tomorrow evening and playing for a 3A, make that a 2A state championship. 3A next week. 3 and 4A super sectionals coming up this Tuesday in those 2 classes. On the drive and the score. And Mecca Owens will make his fans happy. A 22-point difference. This game was not that big. 72-50. A little bit of a bump there from Garrett Buckman. And to the free throw line will go Jamal Hansen, 6-foot junior.
It's a 28-point fourth quarter right now for Uplift. Just blew it open in quarter number 4.
And that is not a foul that will result in free throws. Mater Dei a little bit short for Becker. He's gonna get it off to his buddy for that shot, and Buckman can't get it to go, and that will not count. But what will count is Uplift heading to the Class 2A state championship game, a 72-50 winner tonight over Mater Dei. Drops Mater Dei's record at 24-11. Uplift will take a 27-5 mark against St. Teresa tomorrow for your 2A championship ball game. St. Teresa earlier tonight, 50-39 winners over Rockridge. So it'll be Rockridge and Mater Dei to get our evening started tomorrow night at 6:30, followed by the championship game. And of course, the day tomorrow starts at noon. 1A action, 3rd place game at noon, followed by the 1A championship ball game. So the close to a busy day here at Carver Arena. We will hear from our player of the game in just a moment as Jeremy Roscoe makes his way over. First, I think the players want to acknowledge their fans. They are. They're good. Lined up behind the bench. High fives from their fans. A school that's very proud of this team. Small school. They take a great deal of pride in their activities. Let's go talk to Kelly Kroll. She's with David Taylor.
Well, Coach Taylor, you said this basketball program has only been in existence for 8 years. What does it mean to you to be taking this team to its first ever state finals?
Well, right now it's kind of difficult to put into words, but believe I'm completely overwhelmed with the situation and the atmosphere. I'm extremely proud of my guys. I'm extremely proud of our school's administration, all of the students and the people that came down to support us. So I'm a little bit overwhelmed. And if I don't have the right words to put it into context, please forgive me. But I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Coach, I think you're doing a great job, and these guys are obviously very thrilled with you.
Thank you.
One more question for you. You've been at the helm the whole time. You've got 5 seniors starting. How rewarding has it been to watch them grow and reach this benchmark?
Yes, extremely proud of these guys. When we started, our program wasn't to this level. When they were freshmen and they committed to the school, we weren't doing these kind of things. And so for them to stick it out and for them to let me and my assistant coaches yell and push them and do all the things that coaches do with young guys, for them to stick it out and deal with that is tremendous. I want to commend them. They deserve all the credit. And I'm extremely proud and extremely happy. Oh my God, I can't tell you how happy I am about this group. Man, we're in Peoria playing for the state championship.
That's right, Coach, the state championships. Congratulations, one more to go.
Thank you very much. I just would like to give all the credit to my players and my assistant coaches, Derek Sylvester and Quinn Jones. Thank you.
All right, guys, congratulations, all of you. We're heading back to the desk. Mark and Dave.
Take a look at that picture as they are taking their pictures, and listen to David Taylor. Mark, this is truly what it's supposed to be about.
You know, all the excitement that you can imagine they are experiencing right now. It is March Madness. It is an experience, and emotions are running wild right now.
Let's go back to Kelly. She's with Jeremy Roscoe.
All right, Jeremy, your team doesn't head to the state finals without your 17 points, but knowing who you're starting with, your 4 other teammates, seniors, you guys have all accomplished this. What does it mean to be heading to the state finals?
Oh, it means everything, man. This is just a dream come true. I mean, like, we've been talking about this since November or October or something, so it just means everything.
I don't know, with the energy I'm seeing right now from your whole team, how much sleep do you think you're going to get before tomorrow night's big game?
I don't think we're going to get no sleep at all. But I'm gonna lead them sleep. I'm gonna try to talk to them to go to sleep, because tomorrow's a big day. We just gotta finish the job off.
All right, you get some sleep, you get some rest. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Good luck, Jeremy. There you guys go. Jeremy Roscoe, Uplift, headed to the state finals. Big win.
Indeed, and Mark, when you take a look at what Uplift did tonight, they were consistent all the way through. Of course, they knocked down those big three-point shots early to kind of set the tempo, but then they just kept at it through a full 32 minutes.
Well, I tell you what, it was relentless. It was tenacious defense that really catapulted them into their offensive game, got them into flow, got them into rhythm, got those 3 points just ringing from downtown. It was a complete effort, 28 points put away in the fourth quarter, and that was a dominant performance, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, by Uplift.
So that sets up our 2A championship game. It'll be St. Teresa from Decatur taking on Uplift from Chicago. Tomorrow evening kicks off. It starts with Rockridge and Mater Dei. But your day will start at noon when our 1A third place game and championship game will come to you here on Comcast Sportsnet. For our entire crew, Matt Rodewald, Kelly Crow, and Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you again tomorrow from Peoria.
A restaurant with a view. A game day bus. A kingdom for pretty princesses. Your local country financial representative knows that your car is much more than just a car to you. And since they know you so well, you can be sure they'll guide you to just the right coverage and available discounts to keep your car and everything else that depends on it well protected. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
To a cake portrait chef, accuracy is everything. That's why I used Realtor.com to find this house. I'd rather take a cake to the face than to use those other search apps. Off the market, it's on the market! Realtor.com is the most accurate home search tool. Its homes are sweet.
team, listen up. Effective immediately, you'll all be joining my team, the NFHS Network. If it happens in high school, we got it covered. We've got your favorite high school sports wherever you want them, whenever you want them. Streaming live or on demand. Plus, with a few well-executed moves here, here, and here, you can find and follow your favorite school or team. Only on the NFHS Network.